My name is Natalia, or Natty, Averett, and I am a trustee on the Unitarian Universalist Association board. Covenant is the theme of this year's UUA General Assembly. Covenant, the one that exists between Unitarian Universalist congregations, is the foundation of our association. Enhancing the feeling of connectedness and the covenant that exists between congregations are focuses of developing changes to the annual program fund and the related Fair Share Giving program. Connectedness and covenant are also focuses of the new UUANs, or goals for the association, that are being developed. As you can imagine, all this talk of connection and covenant has me and most of the other trustees on the UUA board pondering what these concepts look like when made real. One of the questions that the board is asking members and others who we encounter to answer to help inform our work is, what does the term covenanted communities mean to you? Today, I will share some of my own thoughts on our connectedness to our own psyches and spirits, to each other, and to communities such as the one that exists within a congregation and within our association. Communities which promote individual and collective wholeness. It is my questioning and consideration of what it means to live the lives we were meant for. The ancient Egyptians taught us that the universe is full of spirits, and that when a baby is born, a spirit is chosen and incarcerated in the body of that being to live a life that is ultimately one long journey back to the uninhibited, authentic soul. The soul journeys multiple times, being embodied through humans over and over again. This, the story of the spirit body, is the world's first reincarnation story. Mystic Judaism teaches us that there was once one big light in the world, but that light spilled out of the container that it was in, shattered, and spread to the many corners of the universe. It is the responsibility of humanity to live and to engage with each other and the planet in a way that brings that light back together and remakes the universe whole. The concept is referred to as tikkun olam, the repairing or healing of the world. These are our earliest stories of who we are as beings, as spiritual beings. Our earliest stories of purpose are very similar to our present stories of purpose. They are stories of redemption, of the return to and acceptance of and contentment with oneself and the relationship between oneself and the universe. These stories of personal and collective redemption exist in concert. In Buddhism, a person who has achieved nirvana experiences a state of supreme joy that comes from being free from attachment, hatred, and delusions. Joy is often described as moments of uncomplicated happiness. As desired as this state of supreme joy is, it is the being that forgoes this supreme joy and is immersed in compassionate coexistence and the discomfort that comes with it that is worshipped. A bodhisattva is a being that compassionately refrains from entering nirvana in order to save others and is worshipped as a god. The most worshipped parts of the Jesus story are the virgin birth, the 7 miracles performed for the most ostracized in society, the temptations of Christ, also known as the 40 days and nights, and the resurrection. The virgin birth gives us the unadulterated spirit body, the spirit that does not lose a piece of itself in its encapsulation in the human body. Jesus is a human body and psyche with a clear sense of purpose and an uncluttered pathway to the spirit. Jesus, the compassionate journeyer, the resurrected, the reincarnated, is the God who forgoes entering nirvana to live among us, to preserve the presence of the authentic spirit body on this earth and to make the world whole. In Christianity, it is called grace, the unmerited divine assistance given to humans for their regeneration or sanctification. Implied in the meaning given to the bodhisattva is that nirvana is a state of being that distances the human from the rest of the world, and this distance may be incompatible with justice. British naturalist Charles Darwin observed that those compassionate, empathetic, and collaborative beings were the fittest for survival, the advancers of their species. German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche encouraged humanity to have as its primary goal the creation of what he called life-affirming existence for oneself and for others. He posited that this could be achieved by acknowledging that life can and will be tragic, but by nonetheless saying yes to life. The Jesus story, the existence of the bodhisattvas, the theological, religious, scientific, and philosophical teachings that humanity chooses to perpetuate suggest that we are seeking an experience of joy manifested in the authentic experience of ourselves in the world, and in moment after moment of uncomplicated happiness. And that we know that we can arrive at this circumstance and be satisfied unless we allow our changed being to bring change to the world. We understand that comfort, that a focus that is overwhelmingly internal, that attempts at self-preservation and self-protection may cause the opposite of what we desire. That if we are to become our aspirations, we must expose ourselves, reach out, invite others in. We must not reinforce our fortresses. We must expand our pathways and connections. Graciousness, which has come to mean loving, merciful kindness, was also once a synonym for the words fortune, prosperity, and happiness. We seek affirmation, to engage with the world and see our existence confirmed and reflected back to us whole and healthy. We recognize the covenant of humanity, its intangible contract and moral commitment. Nietzsche states, if we affirm one moment, we thus not only affirm ourselves, but all existence. For nothing is self-sufficient, nothing in us ourselves, nor in things. And if our soul has trembled with happiness and sounded like a harp-string just once, all eternity was needed to produce this one event, and in this single moment of affirmation, all eternity was called good, justified, redeemed, and affirmed. The UUA bylaws, Article 2, Principles and Purposes, states that we, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, acceptance of one another, and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process in our congregations and in society at large, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all, respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. So we journey as individuals, as communities, and our families, in this religion, in this world, in love and in life, in all of its economies, to move beyond our physical, material, and fleeting understanding of the world, to reach nirvana, to return to our spirits beyond our existence, to live full and free lives, to acknowledge and not be burdened by fear, confusion, discomfort, resentment, or regret, to keep our promises, to connect, to recover, to support, to love, to be gracious, and become grace. My clothing is a thank you to each of you and to the gathered community, and is derived from a Tibetan Buddhist meditation. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. Make yourself divine. Make the world whole.